Jay, I'd like for you to comment on something I heard today. And I was watching an interview, and the person interviewed said that yes and no are the same because you learn in both instances. What do you say to that?
I don't think they're the same, but I think that you do learn in both instances. But I definitely don't think yes and no is the same. It's like saying ass whooping, and accolades is the same thing. Right? It ain't the same thing. You know what I mean? So that's just my opinion, and that's that person's opinion. But I do agree that you do learn in both instances. Like my analogy, in an ass whooping, you can learn, something. You can, and positive reinforcement, you can learn as well. You can actually know that a lot of people, first of all, you're learning, hey, you shouldn't do this. And then other things might tell you, hey, I should keep doing this because, this is what I'm going to get out of it. Also, but when you bringing it back to the yes and no piece, you do learn things, no's don't always mean a negative, and all yeses aren't positive, it's always situational. And I wouldn't tell nobody that it's just that simple, because it's always a circumstance. The circumstances that you get to know in business, no's mean next opportunity. In life, that's not always the case. No's could be denials. Some people are getting told no in a time when, that ain't the answer. Ain't nothing to learn besides I'm not going to eat today. That's what that no meant. You know what I'm saying? And nothing on, I'm going to learn besides my family member probably not going to live because it was no to getting a kidney, no to getting a liver, no. So we can't just throw blanketed statements out there. I think it's good for dialogue. I think it's good to have a discussion. But, I assume you heard it on social media, so they love their sound bites. And so they love to give you a minute, 30 seconds or whatever of a whole topic. And people run with that. People make whole synopsises and hypotheses off of 30 seconds of something they heard somebody say. Some people create mantras out of it. So it's very powerful, but at the same time, dangerous with throwing out those things like that. But yes and no are equally powerful, but they're not the same by any stretch of the imagination.
Thank you for that. And so along the same lines, I have a question for you. And the question is, can learning to say no catapult you in your business?
Hell yeah. That's when that's when you're starting to become savvy in your business. And you got people, I've literally, I wouldn't call a young lady a friend, but it was a possibility to have a business relationship, with a young lady, but we disagreed on this some years ago, because she was talking to a bunch of people who were coming from a place of, survival, trying to grow in business. And she was working a 6-figure job with a business on the side. And she's telling these people that they need to say no to people in their business. They need to only work with this client. And I said, in the beginning of your business, you need to take whoever's going to pay you. Because in survival, you can get that money and pay your bills in the beginning, as well as learn. Because a lot of times these people don't know who their target audience is. They're learning on the go. But the beautiful thing is they're not learning for free. They're learning for pay. This is a paid internship. So maybe they're supposed to be getting $1,000, but they're getting $300. So what? It's a service based most of the time, because if it's not, products are products. The products, if you pay $5 for a product, you can't sell it for $5. You can't sell it for $4. You losing. But a service, certain things people are doing for people that they've done for free their whole life. So getting something out of the deal is not a bad idea. But once you start to get savvy in your business, you start understanding the real worth of your service, that's when the no's become the dopest thing in the world. Because this is how you get to have these service-based business owners that are doing 25 to 30 jobs a year and clearing 6 figures. and they're able to spend the rest of the time with their family because they know how to say no. They know how to pass that some work that they're totally not interested in doing onto someone else, and they just stick into their lane and they grow and they prosper. That it takes some time to learn that. And a lot of people are scared. They have imposter syndrome. They don't believe in themselves to that extent that they have enough clientele, or they have enough for the clientele to pay them $5,000 and $10,000 a clip. So it takes some development. But once you get to that point where you can, say no, not just for being a weirdo or being an asshole saying no, but saying no because you know what you want and you're not going to settle for what you don't want in business. Oh man, you are moving on the way. You are in a tremendous spot and in a tremendous space to control your destiny. And those are the people who usually we find be tremendously successful.